If you need a compact SUV with stunning good looks and a premium, high-class feeling interior, well, you might want to stick around, because in today's video, I'm going to be giving you a full, in-depth tour and review of the recently introduced 2020 Mazda CX-30. We're going to take a look at this stunning, gorgeous exterior, a look under the hood at the powertrain and different engine options offered by Mazda, before finally hopping into that beautiful leatherette interior and taking a look at the different technologies and features offered in there. This is going to be a full review of the CX-30, telling you everything you need to know, so definitely stick around. Now, if you're wondering where exactly in Mazda's lineup this CX-30 is going to reside, it's actually between their CX-3 small SUV model and their CX-5 midsize SUV model. So it would make the most sense for this car to be referred to as the CX-4. Unfortunately, the CX-4 is a model that was introduced in Beijing in 2016 and is offered exclusively in China. So to avoid confusion with that model, they had to call this one the CX-30 here in America. But it does slot right between the 3 and the 5 as a decent-sized compact SUV. I think it's pretty important to begin this review with a discussion of the exterior design of the 2020 CX-30, because Mazda actually prides itself, and one of their main selling points is the fantastic Kodo design language they use on the exterior of their cars. It is a very smooth, well-formed, curving body on the exterior of this CX-30, and Mazda does this across their entire lineup. They just give a really visually striking appearance to all their models. They actually still use clay models to carve out the design of their cars, and I think that's really cool, and the end result is stunning. Now, in terms of the actual features on the exterior of this car, it's actually been left pretty bare to really unhinder the flowing body lines of this car, but there are a couple nice upgrades Mazda does offer with this CX-30. The base model actually comes standard with full LED headlights, LED daytime running lamps, and that's going to create a visually striking appearance as well as give you really good nighttime visibility and keep you safe when you're out late. What I really love about these headlamps is that they're actually set back in pretty far on the hood, and this allows the chrome grille surround to extend out in front of it in almost a winglet fashion, which might be pretty good for aerodynamics, improving downforce, but definitely looks really, really cool and unique. I love you've got so many curved lines coming at each other right here around the headlight, and that creates a really nice focal point on the exterior of this car. Now, another cool focal point up here is going to be this enormous gloss black grille. Now, this is an upgraded feature on the upper trim levels of the CX-30. The base models are going to get more of a matte painted look up here, but they all come with this enormous front grille adorning the nose of the CX-30, and they're actually designed with a pretty cool triangular pattern, kind of a matrix-esque design that's really going to improve and optimize airflow to cool down that powertrain and feed the 4-cylinder power plant, which we're actually going to be popping the hood and taking a look at that in just a minute, so stick around. But moving along to discuss some of the cool features on the side of the car, you can really see it's actually a pretty capable car. It's got, I believe, 6.9 inches of ground clearance in the base model, but regardless, it's actually going to be a pretty capable car moving around on the road and off the road. Now, to help keep your paint clean and clear of rock chips and dirt, they've added these massive black plastic bumper guards. These are going to really take all the rock chips and damage that might be spit up from the road with these wheels and protect that glorious paint job. And Mazda does a great job with the paint on their cars. It's got a really nice sparkling, shining design here in the sun, so you really do not want to get that messed up with any rocks. So that's why these black plastic bumper guards are here, but they also provide a nice visually contrasting design to the side of the car as well, make it a little bit more interesting to look at. Now, in terms of the wheels, of course, Mazda offers a few different options for these, starting with the base 16-inch wheels. They also offer 18 inches wide on the upper trim levels if you really want to stun with your looks. Now, around the window, we've got some chrome highlights along the bottom and matte black along the top. Nothing too spectacular, pretty much going to blend in with everything else on the road, but the design is finished off in the rear of the car with some more very striking lighting systems. I love those taillights back there. Again, pretty similar to all the lighting systems featured on Mazda's cars, but they look absolutely fantastic. Now, that rear liftgate is actually going to lead into the trunk, which we'll look at during the interior segment of this review. But in all the base models, it comes as normally hand operated. If you want to get the power liftgate, that is going to only come on the top tier CX-30 models. Under the hood of the CX-30, you'll find a standard powertrain that is not offered in very many configurations. It's just the 2.5 liter Mazda Skyactiv G 4-cylinder engine, which puts out 186 horsepower and 186 pound-feet of torque. That is the only engine offered with this CX-30. If you want something else, you'll have to go somewhere else. But it is a pretty good power plant. It actually is very good on fuel economy, getting a combined 28 mpg thanks to a lot of the cutting edge technologies Mazda is using with their Skyactiv system. That include a variety of different changes they've made to the engine systems itself. It also includes dual overhead cams and variable valve timing. So you are getting a lot with this powertrain, and it's also available paired up with either front wheel drive in the base CX-30 or upgraded all-wheel drive, which is available on all the different trims. If you live up north where it gets a little bit snowier, or if you like going off-roading, you can actually get all-wheel drive, and that's really going to help with the driving capabilities of this car. So when it comes to the engine of the CX-30 and the exterior design, not much is really going to change with the packages and trims you select, other than obviously the color of the car. That's actually contrasted here in the interior of the CX-30, where things are largely dependent on the packages and the trims. And this is the main reason I suggest upgrading to the CX-30 Select trim model, because that comes with a ton of really nice upgrades, but not with a ton of extra costs. In the base CX-30, you're only going to have a pretty standard cloth interior with all the basic technologies and features, whereas in the upgraded CX-30 Select, you're going to get this beautiful, soft leatherette material all around the interior. We've actually got some contrasting colors here in this particular CX-30. Up on the dash and the door panel, as well as this armrest, is a really nice deep blue that has a little bit of a fun personality to this car, whereas everything else is just this more sophisticated, luxurious leather. But I gotta say, all around, regardless of what colors are used, this is a really soft, really comfortable feeling interior that you're not gonna have on the base CX-30. It honestly feels very premium and like a luxury car, but not with that luxury car price, which is one of the things I love about Mazda. I said this when I reviewed their smaller hatchback model last year. They just make some really premium feeling interiors. And things are laid out pretty nicely as well. It's all very ergonomic and easy to use and reach. There are some climate vents all around the interior. Again, with that upgraded Select model, you're going to get dual zone climate control, so you can really personalize different areas of the car to feel right for every passenger. It's also got a good amount of technology in here. For a car as cheap as the CX-30 is, I'm actually surprised by how high resolution and easy their infotainment system is to use. Up there on the dashboard is a center-mounted 8.8-inch display screen that involves the infotainment system of the car. So that's going to allow you to navigate to the media settings of the car, some of the different interior and exterior drive modes, as well as the navigation system if you're equipped with that, which this particular CX-30 is not. Now, I was going to make a big complaint about this infotainment system in that it's not offered as a touchscreen. No matter how much you pay for your CX-30, you're not going to be able to swipe and zoom and tap on that screen like you would with your smartphone. However, when I got in here and started using this rotary knob Mazda provides you with, I decided not to complain that it's not a touchscreen, because this is actually a very easy and intuitive system to use. The buttons are very tactile and feel nice in your hand, high quality premium materials, just like the leather, and it's really easy to navigate and use even without the touchscreen abilities. And there's another screen here as well on the gauge cluster. Again, very, very sharp graphics, very clear and high resolution, and that actually shows you a variety of different information about the car. Plus, if you upgrade to that Select trim level again, or even on the higher trim levels, it comes with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So you can connect your phone up digitally to this system and have a lot of your apps displayed up there on that center screen, which is a really nice feature to have. But if you're less interested in the built-in screens in this car and more interested in your phone screen, Mazda has got you covered there as well. There are two standard USB charge ports around the car, as well as a 12-volt power outlet. Now, I am actually going to complain about this USB charge port because one of them is located in a really inconvenient spot up here, kind of hidden underneath the dashboard. And it's just got a really awkward angle to it. You can't even see it when you're in the normal driving position. You got to kind of lean over a little bit. And then if you have a cord coming out of it, it's going to be just a big mess of wires because the phone is going to be located underneath that USB charge port. So it's kind of an odd location for it. I'm not sure exactly why they didn't move it down into that center console tray instead of putting it really high up, but I guess that's just how it is. There is, however, another USB charge port down here in the center armrest. It's actually located right next to that 12-volt power outlet, and this looks like a much more convenient one to use. Unfortunately, the rear seats of the CX-30 don't get any USB charge ports or 12-volt power outlets at all. So hopefully your rear passengers don't need to charge. Otherwise, you're going to be passing electronics back and forth between the front and rear seats. So that is a minor inconvenience, I guess. There are other cars in this class that do offer charging features for the rear passengers. Some of them even come standard in the base models. So that's really going to be a point of complaint about the CX-30, but it still might be worth the trade-off considering that this interior feels so much more premium with the good materials when compared to cars from Toyota and Honda. But there are a couple other nice positives about these rear seats. It's got more vents so the rear seat passengers can keep cool as well. It seats 3 pretty comfortably. There's a good amount of headroom and legroom in here. I am 6'2", and I'm fairly comfortable back here. They've put some convenient indentations in the back of the front seats, so legroom is improved, and there's a good amount of headroom as well. All in all, it is not as spacious as the CX-5 would be, but again, it is a smaller car than that, so you'll probably be buying it for different reasons. But things really wrap off in the interior with the trunk of this CX-30 model, and it actually fits a surprising 20.2 cubic feet of cargo back there, which is really impressive for this segment of compact SUVs. But if you need even more than that, by chance, you can also fold these second row seats down to really expand the cargo carrying capacity of this CX-30 to an extraordinary amount. All in all, it is a very practical and very comfortable interior, even if it is just a little bit behind competitors when it comes to charging and the touchscreen technologies. If you're considering buying a compact SUV like this Mazda CX-30, definitely check out one of the videos on the screen right here. I've actually reviewed a ton of competitors to this car that you might want to consider as an alternative. Also, a special thank you to Furman Mazda in Brandon for providing me with this CX-30 to review today, but thanks for watching.